Okay, I'm going to get started here, everyone, and I'm going to mute everyone temporarily, but I'll leave the chat box open over on the right. So if somebody wants to send a message, you can go to the little bubble icon next to the people and write a message. So I'm going to mute everybody to go ahead with the presentation here.
All participants are muted and they can unmute themselves.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody tonight to our webinar on longevity coaching and business success. And we're going to be recording this and sending it out to everybody who's on the sign-up list at the end. We'll go about an hour, and then we're going to have a question and answer period. All right. Tonight's agenda. So why are Susie and I working together? We'll mention that. What I'm going to talk about, which is what are the 10 principles of personal longevity and some examples of some of the things we teach. Why people should be interested in longevity coaching. If one of you is already a wellness provider, whether you're already doing coaching or not, longevity coaching makes has a good synchronicity with what you're doing, good connection. Then Susie's going to do her presentation on building a coaching business. Then we're going to have the question and answer session. So why are we working together? So we each provide a different aspect to help you be successful. One of the things I've found in the last few years when I've been talking to people about becoming a coach, whether they're already coach or considering it, is a lot of companies will give the training and then just drop people and they don't know how to make a business out of it. So I focused a lot on wanting to help people be successful in business besides training them in useful skills of coaching. In fact, we have 12 courses in our coaching course, and one of them is how to be a coach, how to do coaching, the forms you use, and even an ebook I wrote on building your brand and marketing. Now, Susie provides a membership site and coaching on how to build your coaching business. She's going to talk a lot about that, but we talked quite a bit, and we think we're a good combination here. That's why we're doing this together. Let me just try and get this going. There we go. Okay, so my entire business is based on what I call the 10 principles of personal longevity. And I won't go into the whole history of it tonight, but basically the idea is to give people a step-by-step approach to get into how to integrate spirit, mind, and body for long-term health and happiness and hopefully additional longevity. It's different than a lot of coaching programs which focus mainly on the physical body. Certainly nutrition and exercise and diet are all important, but we try to also focus on things like what's your purpose in life? What are your subconscious beliefs, like as in enabling your life urge? The importance of a spiritual connection. I'll discuss some of these things in more detail. And so there's a lot of aspects that affect people's health and happiness which are not part of traditional coaching. That's why we consider it so important, as many of you probably already understand. So what I've got here is a step-by-step process that we lead people through in our coaching program, and that we encourage our coaches to lead their clients through when talking to them about the 10 principles and a new lifestyle that they can live. So what is it? We teach a philosophy of helping clients to optimize their long-term health, happiness, and extend their longevity. It's kind of an integrating package that integrates with all the other skills you've already got in the wellness business. The coaching benefits that we teach are diets of long-lived people, diets and lifestyles, that is, from a book I wrote and research I did about long-lived people in 4 communities around the world. Different exercises you can do for longevity, the importance of mindfulness to stabilizing your body. We'll talk about that a little bit more. We're learning vital forces, and what are the things that science and medicine tell us we can do to increase our health and longevity. And finally, helping you set up a scoring sheet as to what are the areas of your lifestyle you should work on as a client. I also found that a lot of people like the concept of longevity, but they were hesitant to invest in it as clients. And so I looked about what were the short-term solutions that we provide for people? What are the short-term things people get from our training? And we call those personal freedom. And so a lot of people want short-term benefits from what they're doing with us. And these are some of those things that people get from our training program in terms of breaking psychological barriers, changing their subconscious beliefs, and overall purpose and goals motivation. So we've now integrated this into our training program so that when you're signing somebody up to be coached, they will also see that they're going to get a lot of short-term benefits out of what we do, as well as the longer-term benefits. Here's some examples of what you would teach coaching clients. First, on the reality of long-lived people. Now, these are just a few of the people who we've done research on. I've got books and I've got all sorts of records of people who've lived well into their 100s, and even the Chinaman on the lower right, named Lai Ching-Young, who's pretty well documented to have lived to 256 years old. I've found videos, and I even continually find people who are still alive in their mid-100s. So the idea that people cannot live and haven't lived past 120 or 122, the French woman in the Guinness Book of World Records, is not correct. And that's one of the basic things I try and teach people and have coaches teach their clients, is to help break people out of this mindset that you have to get old and die at a specific age in their 70s or 80s or 90s. That's not true. These people have proven that people can live well beyond that with a proper lifestyle. Another area which is overlooked is your spiritual health. So I asked the question, what is the biggest reason people live longer and healthier? Can you guess? And of course, I'm leading into this. It's one of the gold nuggets I wanted to provide you. I think there's mounting evidence from different studies that mindfulness, which is part of your spiritual connection, mindfulness done through meditation or deep prayer, helps affect people's physical bodies. There's been a lot of studies done on people who've had long-term mindfulness practices and how it affects the autonomic nervous system, that it seems to help people stabilize their organs and their glands in the autonomic nervous system. This is another part of what we teach, is the direct effects of mindfulness practices, in addition to teaching people mindfulness practices, and how they affect their lives by doing this. So mindfulness is much more than a trend. It's actual science showing that it really affects you. Another area we'll talk about in the physical body, we've actually got 2 courses on that. And that's the lifestyles and diets of long-lived people. And I mentioned a book I'd written on the subject where I did a lot of research. And there's 4 communities that we studied: the Abkhazian or the Black Sea, the Hunzas in northern Pakistan, Okinawa, Japan, that studied quite a bit in terms of longevity, and Vilcabamba, Ecuador. Now, I picked these communities because these are the 4 largest long-lived people regions in the world. There's a lot of smaller ones, but these are the 4 biggest ones that have age-old lifestyle practices and diets. And I found from them that some interesting facts. None of these people are strictly vegetarian, but just the way they grew up with the traditional diet, only about 1 to 3% of their diet is meat or fish. The rest of it is fruits and vegetables and grains. So this is something to teach people also, aside from good nutrition practices, which are certainly important, that these diets and lifestyles can be part of their lifestyle too. Now, by the way, I wanted to mention also in a couple places here that we're going to have a series of 3 classes after this free webinar starting next week. And it's not a high price. It's for people who want to learn more but are not ready to make any type of commitment towards our coaching or any of the other consulting, if you're interested in attending that. Now, what is longevity coaching then? The reasons to become a longevity coach: certainly to help yourself, your family, and friends. It's a huge new market of people. I usually use the range 35 to 64 years old who are really interested in the subject. And I use 35 as the lower limit because that's the age when people start having different long-term issues or in their life, whether it's glucose problems, with their blood sugar, or arthritis, chronic illnesses people start having at 35. So that's when they become really interested in better lifestyle practices. 64, I put as an upper limit, somewhere in your 60s, because people, frankly, tend to become pretty fixed in what they're going to do to change their lives about that time. It's not always true. It depends on the person, but that's kind of the age range. It's also a new skill set to help you build your brand and your clients, because the topic is so popular these days. When clients find out, or potential clients find out, you're doing something with longevity, they're going to be really fascinated with it. You're also going to get our coaching course, which includes the 100-page ebook on marketing and branding, plus all the services that Susie can provide. She'll talk about that. Websites and consulting are available, and we also do things to help our coaches, like joint marketing after they become certified, to help put on additional webinars for them or workshops in a location. So the biggest reason I'm not talking about is you can make a living at becoming a longevity coach by itself or in conjunction with the other skills you've already developed. We have people who have learned nutrition and, say, Reiki healing. Maybe they're a massage therapist, and this helps bring all those things together under a common umbrella. Here's a few quotes or testimonials from people. We also have testimonial videos on our website on the longevity coaching page. And the program structure, it's all online. The training's in an online server, and we've recently added a app. This uses the Moodle training environment, and Moodle has an app which we've linked into it. So now you can use our training on whatever environment you're using, whether it's a desktop or laptop with a browser, or a pad like an iPad, or a smartphone. You can use the coaching training on all of these. And this is something you can also share with clients. And here's some pictures of what it looks like on a iPad in the middle, and a smartphone on the right, and then just on a browser on the bottom. So we run on all major platforms. As I mentioned, we also we have a separate workshop license for people who want to do longevity workshops, and we help work with our coaches to put on workshops and webinars on longevity-related topics. We also have a membership site. In fact, one of the special options I'll mention tonight is what people can get with the coaching and the membership site combined, which provides good resources. So I'm going to briefly show you some of the bundles we're offering tonight. Mention them real quickly. We'll mention them at the end too, and of course you'll get the video which shows all this. We're offering a special discount through the end of April for our coaching program. We have a bundle of coaching and the membership site, which has a lot of benefits to it for a lot less than they are individually. And Susie will get into the heavy discount she's got for people who become coaches and are looking for some of her services. We have all of this on our page. You can see at the bottom, which you can go to on our website, personal-longevity.com/coaching business. Now we're going to switch over to Susie on building your coaching business, and she's going to talk about her aspects. So let me turn her into a presenter here. Switch presenter. Okay. Susie, let's unlock her.
Hi there. Okay, let's make sure we do a smooth transition here. And here we go. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, great. That is very exciting. I mean, I can't even imagine that, being able to live to 120, 150 years old. And be, you know, I just think that this is such a really key market right now, Marty, because I mean, look at what just is on the Dr. Oz show. I mean, everything's about longevity. Everything's about being healthy and being able to stay healthy and youthful long enough to enjoy retirement and enjoy maybe even a whole second career for some people. You know, they retire, they're bored, and they want to do something else, maybe like be a longevity coach, right? So anyway, I'm very excited to be here and talk to you guys about what I do and how you can wrap all this together into something that may be in addition to what you're already doing. It may be something new for you. It may be something you want to just do for yourself. But if you're going to go out there and build a business, you've got to have a marketing plan, and things are always changing. They're very rapid. So anyway, Marty, thank you for having me together here with you. This is really a huge pleasure for me to be able to share and to be part of what you're doing. So a little bit about me. I'm Susie Bowers. I'm a hypnotherapist and have been since 1995. I also am a coach and have been doing that for the same amount of time, almost 21 years. I can't do the math because I started when I was 29, right? Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and mute the line so that we don't have a lot of background noise, if that's all right with everyone. Maybe, Marty, you can do that from your side. I'm not sure.
Okay, let me make sure we're all muted here.
And then I'll just unmute myself.
All participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we
Marty?
can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so
Muted.
I've been in the self-help and helping profession for almost 21 years now, and it's absolutely been my pleasure. But I didn't start out this way, and I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of clients, and then about 5 years ago, I started Hypnoprofessional Publishing, which is to help other professionals in our field, coaches, therapists, and alternative practitioners, create a successful business. And the reason why I did that is because I have done it all. In all transparency, I've fallen on my face. I've had great success, and I've learned from scraping my knees and then studying and coaching with other coaches and gurus that already know how to do it. So I'm here to share with you what I've learned over the years to help you create really what we call lifestyle freedom. That's what it's all about when you work for yourself. It's about creating the life that you want for yourself, which is my tagline actually, is create the life you desire and deserve. So here he goes, a little bit about me. That's me in the corner there at a book signing, because I'm an author of 3 books, 2 that are on Amazon and 1 that's an ebook. Actually 2 that are an ebook now. I own the California Hypnosis Academy, and I'm an online publisher and success coach. And one of my claims to fame in my area is I'm a professional networker. I love to network. I've been involved with the Chambers of Commerce and networking groups for 30 plus years, and I'm really good at it. I did all those things wrong too, and I learned. So I'm going to share a little bit about that tonight. There's a lot of info we're going to cover. It's going to be crazy. Obviously, we can't compact everything you need to build a successful business into a 30, 40-minute program. So I'm going to ask you, get out your paper, get out your pen. You're going to want to take some notes. And then I encourage you to take a look at our 3-week class that we're offering. It's really a very small investment for what you're going to get out of it, so that we can dig deeper and really help you make a good decision for yourself. So anyway, this is ideal timing. Strike while the iron's hot, as they say. The baby boomers, they're retiring, they've got money, they want to live a healthy lifestyle. This is, to me, a really gold nugget right now. This is a thing you could latch onto and pick any niche you want to get into, whether it's menopausal women or men that want to have more virility in their 70s. Whatever the case is, there's niches here you could get into and really have a good time and create a wonderful lifestyle for yourself. Everyone wants to live longer and be healthy these days. We don't just want to live longer. We want to be healthy while we're living longer, right? So I put this little collage together for you just kind of as a motivation and excitement. Some of it probably doesn't pertain to you, but the idea is when you create lifestyle freedom, you get to go travel. You can work anywhere in the world that you want to work while you're still having fun with your family and friends. Spend time with your loved ones. Maybe fall in love again with your spouse or significant other. And just enjoy life while you're making a really nice income for yourself. So this was supposed to be just a little motivation to get you excited. So what I'm going to be talking about tonight is right here, your 6-figure coaching business if you want. And I'm calling it the 6 figures because most people kind of like that. They like latching on to 6 figures. It's a nice, comfortable income. But I'll be honest with you, the potential in coaching goes even bigger than that. There are people making 7-figure incomes doing this kind of work because they're doing it right. They're hiring a coach that helps them with their business. They're connecting the dots that we're going to talk about tonight, and we have ways to make it easy for you. We're going to talk about your brand, finding clients, networking, speaking, following up. and specifically your newsletter and how that all comes together, building your list of potential followers, potential clients, the people you're building these relationships with. We're going to talk about your website and what your website's really for, because most people don't really know. And unfortunately, you can throw a lot of money at web designers and for a website that does nothing for you. It's just sitting out there in space, and it's not really making your phone ring or anything. We're going to talk about virtual or brick and mortar business. So I'm going to start with that because I'm just going to touch on that really briefly right now. So I have both. I actually have an office here in my cute little town of Stockton, California. I see clients, and I have for 21 years. I love doing one-on-one work with people, but I will share with you, it can lead you to burnout. If you're not doing some of the other stuff we're going to be talking about, it's a quick path to burnout. So I only do so many appointments a week. I pick and choose what I'm going to do, and I charge accordingly so I don't have to work a ton of hours. You can do the same thing. I've also worked with people online, over video on the internet, on the phone, and I've done that for years with people all over the world. So you can have both. And when you create this kind of platform for yourself, you really can work wherever you want to. I go up in the summer, I spend time up in Lake Tahoe. I've got internet up there. I'm still seeing clients, and I'm done with that. I head to the beach with my kids. I mean, it's just the perfect world, and I love it. Wouldn't change anything. So you could do it all. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm telling you that. So stuff happens, right? Why are we teaching you all this? Well, this is my point of view. I've had all kinds of things happen in life because life happens. And if you don't have a way to have different paths or different sources of income coming in, then if you're just seeing clients one-on-one, it can be difficult because when you're not working, money's not coming in. And so I learned this the hard way. So I started developing products and online services that people can order and then group things where I'm making more money, and it keeps me on track. But if I need to take time off, my income doesn't go all down the drain at the same time. And so that's why I'm sharing this with you, because I've seen that happen so many times with hypnotherapists, massage therapists, alternative practitioners, coaches, where it's focusing on one-on-one coaching all the time.
Unmuted.
It can be a problem.
Excuse me, Susie, I just wanted to ask you, are you actually going through the slides, or this is before you're going through the slides?
I am going through the slides. You're not seeing them?
No, nobody's seeing the slides. I'm getting comments too. There we go.
Okay, let's go back here.
So you might want to go back to number 2 and do that briefly.
Why are we not seeing the slides? Can you see them now?
I see slide 7.
Are you seeing my slides moving?
I see 9, 10, 11.
Okay, so we're back on. Okay, so let me start over again. I'll just quickly, can you see it now?
I see slide 1, now 2.
Okay, all right. Okay, so here we are. All right, so you can see this slide that says abundant possibilities on the top?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Then we're doing good. All right, so this was my original website back in 1995. I knew I needed to be on the internet, but I wasn't really sure how I was going to do it because it was still pretty new. So I hired a friend of mine who knew some code, because back then you had to know HTML and all this code stuff. I didn't have a clue what that was. And so she put this site up for me. I didn't even know what I was going to put on it. But anyway, it was kind of pretty. That was the original name of my company, Abundant Possibilities. So here, this gave great credibility, because back then you had to get credibility, you really needed to have a website. So that's what this did for me. It was credibility. But you'll notice down here, it says get our newsletter. So my webmaster, she said, you need to be sending out a newsletter. So I said, okay, I'll do that. And she set me up with this program, and people started opting into it. And I didn't have a clue what this meant or what that was going to mean, but I did send out a newsletter. But unfortunately back then, technology was difficult. Nobody knew it. It was new for everybody. And it took forever for me to put a newsletter together, to navigate that technology. Plus, I didn't even know what to send or what to write or anything. So I sent it out about every 6 months to 9 months. And the weirdest thing happened. Now, this is back when, remember the movie You've Got Mail? So getting email was pretty fun. We thought it was pretty great. Well, things have changed a little bit, fast forward to today. But back then, someone would get my newsletter, and my phone would ring every single time. They'd say, hey, I loved your newsletter. How much do you charge for blah, blah, blah? So there we get the dialogue going. And people would see me in the community at my networking events and say, hey, Susie, I really liked your newsletter. Thanks for sending me that. I'll tell you what, you could have knocked me over with a feather because I thought I was just bothering them. But the truth is they enjoyed hearing from me. And it really hasn't changed that much today, except that we have a lot of competition. We're bombarded by emails, and so you have to be very engaging with your emails, and there's a tool and a technique to that too. And so your six-figure business starts right here. We want to stay in touch with your clients and potentials, build lifelong relationships, because that's what this is really all about. Receive referrals from your past clients, and I will share with you that I get a ton of referrals from my past clients, and you know what? I get repeat business as well. 5 years will go by and someone will call me and go, I was thinking about you. I'm having this issue. Can I come back? Well, you know what? That's awesome because I didn't have to spend any money to get that person. I didn't have to do anything. They're just coming back, and that's what my newsletter does for me. It positions you as the expert in your market niche, which is really, really important, and we're going to be talking about that in depth at our other training, our next training. It gives you a platform to offer your book. So let's say you have an inspiration to be a published author. And you already have a list of people that love you. So you send out an email, go, hey, I just wrote my first book. Go buy it. And they do. And they absolutely will. Classes, you want to promote classes so that you have more group things going on that give you an opportunity to get more potential clients, trainings, online programs, et cetera, et cetera. You can work or live anywhere in the world you want and avoid session burnout. So if you're seeing clients, a bunch of clients every single day, you can get burned out because we put our energy and love into our clients. So I love this quote by John Maxwell, and he's one of the most forward thinkers, transformational leaders of our time. The pessimist complains about the wind. The optimist expects the wind to change, and the leader adjusts the sails. I love this because pretty much we're probably all optimists being in this kind of work that we do, but you know what? Sometimes that isn't enough. Think for a minute. Do you remember the companies like Tower Records, Blockbuster Video? What are some others? Companies that were really successful, they were in their prime, and overnight they disappeared because they didn't adjust their sales to the constant change that's going on. And we have to be aware of that as entrepreneurs. You have to be aware that changes are happening. That's just a given. So kind of looking out ahead of you, anticipating what might be next, staying on top of technology, working with coaches, and educating yourself. So which one are you? Are you ready to adjust your sales? All right, cool. So the secret to success today is consistency. You got to keep moving forward. Don't get bogged down in the minutia. Just keep moving forward. So the most important thing is you have to have a plan. Then consistently work that plan. That's where consistency is really key. With social media and everything that we have at our fingertips, you pick a certain plan and just block out everything else. And you work that plan every day. In our paradigm today, you have to be online. There is no question at all. 10 years ago, people were like, oh, no, I get all referrals. The Yellow Pages is fine. No. Well, you know what? Yellow Pages doesn't work anymore. That's one of those industries that went bye-bye. So you have to be online. There has to be a presence there, and there is a lot of competition. So knowing what to do is really key. You've got to brand yourself in the market as an expert in your niche, and this is really important. I've been all over this 50 million times. This has been a block for me because I can do so many things and help so many people, but you've got to narrow it down to what you're passionate about and brand yourself as the expert in that niche. Staying in touch with your clients is the key. Your website is the gateway for doing that, and you could have a potential increase in referral business of 20 to 33%, which is really great because that's income coming in that you didn't have to go back out and get starting from scratch. And you know what? Your newsletter, your list makes this all happen. So what does Oprah do? This is kind of like, what would Jesus do? No, I'm kidding. What does Oprah do? So think about it. Oprah, Tony Robbins, Jack Canfield, Louise Hay. You all know who Louise Hay is. She owns Hay House Publishing. Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer, Mark Victor Hansen, Sears, JCPenney's, CVS, Walgreens. What is everybody doing out there? They ask you for your email, right? They give you something free. We'll give you some coupons. We'll give you a meditation. We'll give you a free ebook. That's because it works. These people wouldn't be doing it if it didn't work. They're capturing your email and they're sending a newsletter. That's right, an online newsletter. So staying in touch with your audience is the secret to your success in building a long-term successful business. So this isn't a get-rich-quick thing. There are techniques for that as well, for getting clients in right away, which will be part of our upcoming training. But this is a way to build a long-term successful platform for you. So even if things do change, you still have an audience that's following you and wants to hear what you're up to next. So the time to start your newsletter is now. Whether you're a seasoned veteran in the business or you're starting out brand new, today is the day. It's helping you. I'm going to repeat this a little bit. There's going to be a little redundancy to get it ingrained in your head, but it helps you stay in touch with potential clients, adds credibility, trustworthiness, leads to more clients and opportunities, and then ultimately income. Most coaches and therapists aren't doing this because they're thinking, oh, well, I'll do that someday. I'll get to that next year or whatever. No. This is a big mistake. Building your list is a constant, ongoing thing, and you need to start right now. All right. Remember, your newsletter is the vehicle to help you fill your client roster, your calendar, your classes, your programs, sell books, audio, CDs, webinars, anything you can think of. Generates buzz when you want to announce a new program. So let's say you got a new certification or something, or you want to share that you're going to be at this location doing a talk. You can use your newsletter to promote that. If you don't have a newsletter, potential clients in your market will probably call the person whose newsletter is showing up in their inbox that grabs their attention. You'll lose touch with people you meet, which is really key, because if you're out networking and speaking, you're losing them if you're not capturing their email and staying in touch with them. Well, even if you send them a handwritten note, that's awesome. That's even more awesome today. You want to attract people that you meet at your public talks if you're out doing speaking. If you're not staying in touch with them after that, they just forget about you. That's just the way things are today. They don't realize what you know and what you do and how you can actually help them. Your office remains empty, boo, and you don't get to help all those people that need your help. And you know what? Believe me, they're out there. They are looking for you and your special energy that you bring to the program. So if you're out speaking, which I think is a big part of being a successful coach, you've got to share and educate people and let them get to know you. And I know that's a little daunting if you haven't done it before. Jump into Toastmasters. I highly recommend that. It worked for me. Get out there. The more you talk, the easier it gets. But if you go out there and you are doing presentations and you're not collecting emails with a drawing or offer of a free consultation or whatever, your presentations, you're just wasting your time, because the minute they walk out the door, they forget about you. That is just the nature of humans right now. So give your newsletter the priority it deserves. Write it down. Put it down right now. Yes, I'm going to do my newsletter. Make a commitment right now to send out a newsletter regularly. Not every 6 or 9 months like I used to do. About once a month or every couple of weeks is ideal. If you can do a once-a-week newsletter, connect it to your blog and your social media, you're just golden. That's going to be a huge difference. So what are we talking about here? Client retention and referrals. So let's take a look at what that's like. What does that mean in your wallet? So let's say you have a potential 33% increase in referrals. Okay, we're just talking about referrals here, but I want to share with you that there's a statistic out there from a list building guru who trains on how to build your list. She says it's a 200% increase in income by doing what I'm telling you to do here today. But we're just going to talk about potential referrals, okay? So let's say that you're starting out your first year and you're just humming along. You're kind of just doing it the slow-paced way. And $30,000 your first year, that's pretty realistic starting out in a business. And you know what? That is not bad. You know, other businesses, and brick and mortar type sales businesses, it could take them 5 years to make a profit. In coaching and hypnotherapy, you really can make a profit your first year. But I actually, and I'm just going to say this, it may sound way out there, but I know coaches and hypnotherapists that go out and they're making $30,000 a month. And that can happen too, if you want it to. So let's say you have $30,000 your first year and you're getting a 33% increase in your referrals. So that's almost an extra $10,000. And those are people you didn't have to go out and advertise for. You didn't have to spend any money. This is just from your newsletter, which is a very, very minimal investment. So let's say it's your second year and you do 48,000, that's another almost 16,000 in income, and then so on and so on. You can see my example here. And just remember, this is just saying straight across the board 33%. You could have a higher percent, you could have a lower percent, and lots of fluctuations in there. But it gives you an idea of what I'm talking about. Now let's say you decide you want to write a book, or you want to put together some audios or webinars or classes that you sell online, which is not hard to do these days. It can increase your revenues by offering even more, giving them something to purchase from you. And those are sales you're making when you're sleeping, which is really fun. Okay, so your captured audience, they're in your list, they love you. Some people are going to opt out, that just happens. So you want to keep doing activities to build your list. They do want to hear from you. Like I said, I was shocked to hear that. But still today, people say, wow, I loved your newsletter. That was a great article. And they do want to buy from you. If they're staying in your newsletter list and they're opening it up, they like you. They're looking for you to sell them something. They want more of you. So longevity, health, and wellness. Let's talk about that. Let's say you do a class. If it's your local bookstore or nutrition store or metaphysical store or something like that, and you get 20 people from your list to join you online at your office, or maybe from a networking group, whatever, and you charge $99 for a 4-week program. Now I did this all the time to just supplement my income. It was like additional cherry on top money. So, and it brought me more prospects to add to my list and get to know and build relationships with. So let's say you're doing a $99 for a 4-week program and 20 people at $99, that's an extra couple grand you made for that month. And then out of this, let's say 20 people, out of those 20 people, 5 people purchase an 8-week custom program from you for $1,100. Now, $1,100 is actually really inexpensive. I sell these packages all the time. I know coaches that are selling $5,000 8-week programs. So it just depends on what you're offering, what urgent problem you solve, what people are willing to pay for it. And believe me, they will pay for it if they see the value in it, and it really helps them. So, but in this example, just being kind of conservative, that's $5,500 you just made from the class you did. Not too bad. So wash, rinse, and repeat. Do it all over again, and just keep growing. So let's double these numbers though. Let's really get into it. Let's say you go out and speak and you're really good at networking, social media, and you grow your email list to 3,000 people. You offer a longevity health program for stress reduction or a group program over the phone based on the tools and techniques Marty's teaches you in your certification program. At $197 per person, 25% of the potentials that you email to out of this 3,000 open your email, and 5% buy your program. These are not big numbers, you guys. For a little 6-week program, that equals almost $30,000 for your little program. That's not shabby, and it happens all the time. Your monthly or bi-weekly newsletter or email makes this happen. It is the key to the whole thing. Everything you do is about building that list. Staying in touch with your clients is the potential to your 6-figure business. And how do you get them to come on board? You're going to give them a free gift. Every time you offer a free gift. Of course, we don't just add people to our email list because that's illegal and people don't like it, and that's kind of not in the spirit of building the relationship. You've got to get permission. So when you offer someone a free gift, they'll come and opt in on their own, or you can put together a flyer, a little slip of paper at your speaking engagements and ask people, yes, I want to be added to your newsletter. And they can check the box, and they might ask you questions. You offer them a free consultation or something, and boom, you can go ahead and add them. Your free gift must be of value to your target market, though, and pertain to your niche that you're working on. So woohoo, longevity is hot, hot, hot. Just ask Dr. Oz. You guys ever watch Dr. Oz? He's always talking about ways to be healthy, fit, live longer, look younger. And by the way, Dr. Oz also sends out a newsletter. Okay, so you're going to focus on building your list. The reality is you're focusing on building the relationship. People want to work with those they know, like, and trust. This is the paradigm we live in. This is where we're at. They want to be able to trust you and know that you're authentic and you're in your integrity. You have to be perceived as the go-to expert, and that's what this list building newsletter does for you. That's what your website also does for you, and your social media. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. $1 million secret. You build your list. You keep building it. It gets bigger and bigger, and these people really like you. Your list itself becomes a valuable commodity that you can use to promote other people's programs. So let's say you have a friend or a business partner, just like me and Marty are doing right now. We get to know each other, and we're helping each other by sharing the people we know, because we believe what we have together is just a powerhouse to help more coaches and hypnotherapists create even bigger success. Well, you can do the same thing with your list. You can find people that have something really cool, and you can market it to your list and earn some commissions on that, or affiliate commissions, whatever. This is really a $1 million secret right there. And you just never know where that could go. All right, so we're going to switch gears here a little bit and get off the list thing. We're going to talk about networking. So you want to get clients right now. You got to get out there and talk to people. So find potential clients everywhere. They are everywhere. They're at the grocery store. They're at the gym, especially. They're everywhere you go, the bank, the Chamber of Commerce. You go everywhere, there are potential clients. So we are in the business of making an impression about what we do. So, and remember, impressions are subconscious. Most communication is nonverbal. And so let's talk about your business card. You must have a business card. I had a lady that does digital work recently tell me, I asked her for a card so I could hire her. And she, I don't use a business card because I don't kill any trees. I do everything online. No, I was immediately turned off. I'm like, well, I don't want to kill trees either, but there are eco-friendly papers. And you have to have a card, and that card has to send a message about you. When people ask you for your card and you want them to ask you, do not just hand out your card. People ask you for your card. You want that card to communicate so much about you. So take your card out if you have one and just put it in your hand and feel it, and feel the texture, feel the paperweight. What is it saying to you? Is it saying integrity and strength and trustworthiness and honesty? And the other thing is, you have to have your photograph on your card. Big mistake I see people make all the time is no photograph. Go get a professionally done photo for everything. Something that looks good. Even if you don't photograph well, a professional can make you look good. So you have to have your face on there. Think of how many cards you've collected over the years, and you look at them later and you're like, I don't know who that is, and you toss it in the trash. But they see your face on there. They go, oh, I remember her. I remember him. He had some interesting things to say. So, or whatever. So that's one little thing I want to give you. Make sure your card is very professional. This is a big secret key right here. Send a handwritten thank you note to everyone you meet. If you get their card in your hand, send them a note. People love to get snail mail now, especially handwritten notes, because everything's digital and it's boring. So you meet somebody in person, get their card. Your job is to go out and collect cards and have meaningful conversations with people, and then follow up with them. Follow up. And what are you looking for? 1, you're looking for a potential client to offer a free consultation. 2, you're looking for a potential referral partner, someone that is like-minded in a complementary industry, or maybe a corporation that needs health and wellness courses for their employees. You're looking for those strategic alliances. Follow up with a handwritten note, and then call them. Get on the phone and say, hey, it was nice meeting you. I loved our conversation. I'd like to get to know you better. How can we help each other? You're looking for opportunities to gain a referral partner or a new client. Ask them out for coffee, or just get on the phone, do a Zoom meeting and for 10 minutes and say, well, what can we do to support each other? Build those relationships. Then if it seems appropriate, they bring up a pain point in their life. You're listening for that all the time. Listening. Offer a free consultation. Get them in your office or on the phone for a consult. Okay, now I'm going to switch over to websites. So a little bit here. So how do we get people to opt into your list? Now you guys see this all the time. This is the HypnoPro website. But you see right here, I have this opt-in box to get the free ebook. to get people to jump in. This is my personal site right now. It's changed and it's probably going to change again, but always, every year, I have the same photo on everything, same brand. And right here, free self-hypnosis audio, and join our newsletter. Join us. Your website is one of the gateways to building your captured audience. There are others, but this is one of them. So this is the true purpose of your website. Your website, people are doing way too much stuff on their website. The website has to be very specific to getting people's attention. And your website's branding you as the expert. So is your website, what's it doing for you? Is your phone ringing? I get thousands of visits on my website. I do not get thousands of phone calls, but I do get a lot of people opting into my list. And I am, if you Google search me, Hypnosis Stockton, California, Susie Bowers, I'm number 1 or 2 every single day. So is your phone ringing? No. The main thing, of course you want that. I do get phone calls all the time, but this is your lead capture system so that you can keep building the relationship. You want to grab them fast. 100 years ago, it was estimated that the average human, the attention span of the average human was about 25 minutes. Guess what it is today? 3 to 8 seconds. Roughly the same as a goldfish. That's right. That's pretty sad, huh? That is, thank you, Internet, because we can click on so many things at one time, have multiple windows open, do multiple tasks. Our brains are just wired that way now, so you have to grab them fast. Your website needs to grab their attention, and you want to get them into your list as quickly as you can. All right. And then just really quickly, what kind of website do you have? Websites, you know, people will charge you thousands of dollars for a website. It's not even necessary. It really isn't. But I recommend if you're going to do a website, you use a WordPress blog. Wix blog is really easy to work with for an average person, or invest in lead pages, because that's all it is. It's a lead page for capturing your audience. WordPress is still a little tricky for some people. It takes a little more knowing about the internet. Wix is really easy, and lead pages is really easy. Okay, so opt-in box. See how my picture's here on the left? This is my old site. This was a WordPress site. Opt-in box on the left, face on the left, grabs their attention, and then the natural way the eye moves is in a question mark, so you want your opt-in box over here. There are some new rules to this, though. That still works, by the way. Here's another one that's kind of an more old school, but it still works. Okay, now here's Louise Hay from Hay House. She's really got this thing dialed in. There she is. She's branding herself. Everyone knows Louise Hay. There I am. I'm Louise. And then right here, she's got a beautiful little poem and an arrow that goes straight to her opt-in box, and it's all in the same header. And then she's got her little menu up here. This is beautiful, and this is more in alignment with today's look and feel and style. Here's Dr. Dyer. This is also very popular. You've probably seen this a lot. And this is the pop-up box. So you get on his website that you can see it behind the scenes there, and then boom, this pop-up box comes up, and he's offering you your 100 ways to transform your life. Woo! Who wouldn't want that? That would be a great tagline for a longevity coach. And right there, it has a little X so you can X out of it. But anyway, those are very popular, and I've been using those lately, and they're working great. Here's Jack Canfield. Most of you probably know Jack, and this is another great example of opting in. Click here to start now. And he's got his book, The Success Principles, branded right there. And we all know that's Jack. He looks happy. He's glowing. This is one of my clients here, Department of Neurohypnotic Sciences. This is a slider of pictures of doing hypnosis. And then right here, sign up for our newsletter, get your free relaxation audio. This is another client down in Southern California. And this is a water on moving video thing. And this stuff is not expensive, you guys. This is actually really affordable. And again, right here, you see their happy faces. Even though they're not on the left, this is their brand. So we put them here and right there, boom. So branding yourself, really important. Your URL or domain name, buy your name. If you have not purchased your name, get it. .com and .net. You need to own your own name before someone else gets it. Excuse me. Buy your business name. So I have cahypnosiscenter.com. I also have smokefreecal.com because I specialize in smoking cessation. And I have my name, susiebowers.com and susiebowers.net, so no one else could buy it, and I keep it. It's very important because that brands you. Professionally done business photo, we talked about that. Your business photo needs to be on everything. Your website, your business cards, your social media, your flyers, your physical newsletter, anything and everything you're doing, be consistent with your picture. Sometimes people will say, well, I don't have a website, and it's scary because it's expensive and I don't know what to put on it and blah, 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 blah. You don't have to have a website to start building your list. That's a complete misnomer, and web designers will tell you that you do. You really don't. There's a lot of options out there. I talked about lead pages before. Lead pages is like a one-page website that the whole purpose of it is to capture the lead, to get the person to opt into your list. And you saw how like Louise Hay and Jack Canfield did that. You can do the exact same thing. It brands you. You're offering something free. They're getting on your list. That's all that they need to know. So you can start your newsletter service right now, and you can use even your CRM, which is your client or customer relationship management system. I recommend GetResponse. There are others. There's MailChimp, Aweber, Constant Contact, but I like GetResponse. I've been using these for my clients for a long time now, and I find that this is the easiest. It's got the most bells and whistles on it for the investment that you make, which is very minimal, and it has a landing page feature that they include, so you can just put a landing page up right in there, and you're in business, and forward your URL there, you're in business. And so you can just send people from social media right in there to opt into your list and get your free gift. So when's the time to start? Now. Whether you've been in business for a long time or you're just starting, you want to start building your list today. So put that on your list of things to do in the next 5 days. Get your list started. So your target audience. This is really key, and we'll be talking more about this and really diving into it at our other training, at our 3-week training. Look for an area you are passionate about, you really want to help people with, something you're a little bit familiar with, and something that you solve an urgent problem for, because there are people out there with that urgent problem that's keeping them up at night. That's your target audience. How old are they? Are they male? Are they female? Like I mentioned before, is it menopausal women? Is it men's prostate issues? Or is it golfers? Whatever area that you want to focus in and that you're passionate about, you want to become recognized as the expert that has the solution to that urgent problem. So definitely choose something you're excited about and want to talk about, because that's important for you to stay motivated and be excited to get up in the morning and get out there and talk to people. So I love this. Albert Einstein, there's a new movie out about him. So imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. What you imagine for yourself becomes real. Think about this. Everything on our planet was imagined before it got here, including this computer I'm looking at right now, the building I'm sitting in, airplanes, bicycles, everything was imagined before it became solid and real. So I'm going to ask you, can you imagine yourself as a successful 6-figure hypnotherapist or coach, as a longevity coach, to build a business to last a lifetime, position yourself as an expert, create a platform for your products and books, to work less, make more, help more people, and structure more time with your family and friends? Can you imagine that? Because if you can make this happen for yourself. And we're here to help you. Marty's program is all-inclusive. I've taken a really good look at it. It has so much great information to help you create a successful business. And so I know you can do it. So think about that for a minute. All right. Now, some of the technology I know can be daunting, and I went through that, and that's why I started HypnoProfessional, part of the reason. So there are services here that we can do for you. So you don't have to worry about what articles to send out, how to get the technology done and all that. We have a service to do it all for you for a very low investment, well worth the investment. So it's all there for you. And you can go to HypnoProfessional and opt into our list if you want to find out more about what we're doing there. It's for coaches and hypnotherapists and alternative practitioners. And then we're going to talk about our class. Marty's going to get into more of this.
Unmuted.
Sign up for our 3-week program where we're going to go more in depth here to make sure this is really something you think you could do. You can ask questions, and we have some really special offers for you as well. If you're going to do that course, we have some great things to offer you. And he's going to talk more about that Anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys being here and taking the time to listen to me. I know I talk fast and I talk a lot. Anyway, so Susie Bowers, I'm turning this over to Marty.
Thank you, Susie. Excellent presentation.
What challenges did you have when you started your practice? What were the pitfalls? What were some of the issues you had that you wish you never encountered? And anything you can give us, folks? Any advice?
Are you asking me, Ian, or
I'll take
Susie?
that one, Marty. I had a lot of pitfalls. Part of it, well, I didn't mention this before, but I came from a real estate background, so I kind of came into my business with some marketing. The most successful realtors I knew were masters at building relationships. They were farming an area, they're sending cards, they're knocking on doors, making phone calls, and building relationships. And so I brought some of that marketing and even some of the advertising they did and the consistency with the branding I brought with me to my business. But however, hypnotherapy and coaching was a little bit different.
Okay.
And I think there's a lot of different little challenges I can think of way in the beginning. One was finding office space. I was very nervous about that. And there's ways to do that. So I share that as well on how to find office space if you're brand new. The other thing was technology. And I spent quite a bit of money initially getting my website up, not knowing anything. Nobody knew anything. The other area was challenging for me was the session burnout, because when I did take off and I got busy, I was seeing 6 to 8 clients a day, and I was just overwhelmed, because you do put a lot of energy into working with people because you care about them. That's why we're in the caring business, right? And so that's kind of why I am teaching what I teach, because what I learned is if I could sell some of my sessions online that were recorded, or actually physical cassette tapes. Remember those? Cassette tapes. People would buy them from me, and that was a little cumbersome, but it gave me another stream of income. And so those are my biggest challenges, is to keep the clients coming in, because you have to balance having clients, seeing clients, and going out and getting new clients. And so what I'm teaching now is really about creating a platform. You may have to work at it the first year or two, but you get yourself really going and you're consistent with it, you're going to have people calling, and that makes it so much easier when people call you and say, what do you charge? When can I come in? How can I pay you?
Okay, thank you. I'm going to unmute everybody for a second.
Yeah, very much so. Thank you very much.
I'm going to unmute everyone for a second to see if we
All
have more
participants are
questions.
unmuted.
Are there any more
Is there
questions?
anyone else has a question about stuff we're talking about?
Unmuted.
Don't be shy. This is your chance.
Are there any more questions? All right. Well, I thank everybody for coming tonight. Again, we'll send you all a copy of this recording you can look at, and also the information about the page if you want to follow up with us on any of the bundled options we're offering tonight. So thanks again, and this will be the end of our webinar tonight. You all have a good evening.
Before we go, Marty,
Yeah.
I just want to put out there, if you want to talk to me or you have questions you want to ask in private, I'm totally available to you. Please email me, Suzie, S-U-Z-I-E, at hypnoprofessional.com, and we can get you on the calendar for 30-minute consults. If you just want to talk and ask questions and find out more about what me and Marty are doing or what I'm doing, I'm happy to do that. So again, that's Suzie at hypnoprofessional.com. Look forward to hear from you. Love to hear your feedback and your comments about this presentation as well. If there's things we could cover in more depth, areas you would like more information, it would help you more, or things we need to clarify. So thank you all. Thanks, Marty. I really appreciated this. This was a lot of fun, and I look forward to hearing from all of you.
All right. Thanks, everyone, and good night.
Thank you.